Cooking Show with Clarko. My name is Chris Clark. If you're like me, you've seen a lot of cooking shows on cable access, and you thought to yourself, I'm not going to eat this kind of stuff. I like just regular food. I don't need this kind of stuff. I don't understand what they're making here. I just want to eat my food that I eat all the time. Well, I'm like you, and I like my regular food too. So what I thought I'd do is start with the basics and give you a couple pointers to snazz it up a bit. My favorites, and maybe yours too, is macaroni and cheese. And when I say favorites, I mean macaroni and cheese. They're delightful together and separately, but when they're combined, they're delicious. And you know as well as I do that they're also affordable and fun to eat. So what we're gonna do is make a little macaroni and cheese, maybe embellish it with some flavor, and see what happens. First thing you want to do is get your pot. I've chosen a cooking pot. I like to go camping, and I was using this last week for camping. So you might want to use something like this. I like this. This is my favorite one. So you want to do is make sure you got some water in the kitchen there, and also enough room to get the water in the pot, because it's important to get that established so you can boil it, because you need to boil water for the macaroni, as you know. Okay, we'll get that going there in this great Boston tap water, so you know it's going to be fine and dandy. All right, we'll go over here to the stove. It's spilled a little coffee here this morning. Maybe wipe that up. I got my apron here. Most people like to use aprons, the fancy restaurant aprons. Now, I worked in a hardware store. I find that my apron here from the hardware store works just as well, if not better, because you can put tools in it too. And what better tool than a cooking utensil? And this is what I have here. We'll use that later on. Get my little wipe up. And the first thing we want to do is get the stove on. Let's see what we got here. Put that on high. Oh, there we go. And some people like to put salt in the water, and I'm not sure why. Somebody told me because it boils quicker, but I haven't really figured that out yet. So I'm just going to let it plain, because we want to do things simple here, and that's the idea of the Clarko Cooking Show, is simple, simple, simple. So I also want to choose my music here. Most people, when you listen to the cooking shows on cable access, you hear Vivaldi, Four Seasons, Beethoven, Mozart, Bach. I like to listen to Black Sabbath and Johnny Winter. You can listen to what you want to, but I enjoy Johnny Winter when I cook. I'll get my macaroni and cheese out. I have a couple of macaroni and cheese choices here. Some people prefer name brand macaroni and cheese, but I feel that it's kind of like sniffing really good glue at this point. You really it doesn't matter, because go for the cheap stuff, because it's going to be a better deal. It doesn't really matter when you're dealing with this. The cheese might be a little powdery, but that is the break. So anyway, I'm going to go with the Star Market macaroni and cheese. You want to make sure that you got a flavor pouch in there. Sometimes they don't give you that. Oh, there it is. And just make sure you got... Whoa, almost dropped that. Make sure that it's all there, and it is. You want to put that aside here. Make sure you get enough counter space. A lot of times you're working in the kitchen, and especially in a kitchen like this, the size of the counter can be a real problem. So just make sure you clear enough space to get your serving area. Okay. We want to do that. I'm going to put that aside here. And let's go back to our water here and see how that's doing. Make sure you got the right burner on, because that is a problem. Whoops, be careful there. We got a cameraman, Phil, over here. He's tripping over here in the bottles. Anyway, the burner's going. So what we'll do is we'll do it. I don't know if you can see me or not, but you might be able to see the water boiling there. You can see when the bubbles start coming up, that's when you know the water's boiling. But you are like me, and you know that because you make macaroni and cheese all the time. But the reason for this show is to show you new and different things to do with the macaroni and cheese and make a little bit of flavor. So anyway, we got the water boiling. Let's stop. Okay, we got the water boiling pretty good here. So I'm gonna grab my macaroni and cheese and I'm gonna chuck it in the water. Works good. Now get my spoon, my utensil out of my apron here. And you just want to kind of mix it up a little bit. You just want to stir it up and make sure it's not sticking to the sides here. Now this is a camping stove, camping pot. So it's not really set up for this kind of deal because it gets a little sticky. So you're going to have to work with it a bit. So just keep it stirring a little bit, you know, get it going here, get it like finally, you know, just stir it up a bit, you know, mix it up. So we get that. Let me get my hot dogs out. Couple of things here. As I said before with macaroni and cheese, really good macaroni and cheese is like sniffing really good glue. There's no point in it. You know, if you're going to go for food and if you're going to go for anything else, just go with what you got. So we got high grades here. High grades are hot dogs made with chicken and pork. Smoke flavoring is added. I don't know how they add that. But anyway, that's high grade. Those are on sale at Star Market. And in terms of what you drink with your meal, some people on those cooking shows enjoy wine, a Bordeaux, something, you know, $30 a bottle. I enjoy Mr. Beer because Mr. Beer is enjoyable. So, and it's got a new wide mouth on it. So anyway, get a little Mr. Beer here. I like to add a little bit of flavor, and this is what this is all about, is adding flavor to your meal, no matter how cheap your meal is. So we want to go here and get in the hot dogs. Now these are big hot dogs. Smoke flavor is added, so we're okay there. I'm going to take 2 because it's about all I need right now. They're dripping, but you know. Okay. So we want to cut these into little teeny spots here. And I use this sort of angle here with the knife, cutting. So you just got to be careful because, especially when you're drinking, you don't want to cut yourself. It's not good. Anyway, okay, I want to make sure I get it all here on the cutting board. One thing that I also like to do is add a sauce. People in the fancy cooking shows like hollandaise sauce. I don't know what the hell it is, something like that. But I like just a basic salad dressing, and I call it a pasta salad, and it makes me feel a little better about eating it. And especially in the summertime here, it's good to have a little bit of, you know, mix it up a bit. You got a pasta salad, you got potato salad. You know, you can pretend that it's a fun little picnic. Okay, I'm going to bring the hot dogs over here. You got a little, put them in the water as it's sort of boiling. This way the hot dogs will cook along with the macaroni, and when you drain it, they'll all drain together, and that's fine. Okay, don't want to drop anything there. Should be good. Alright, as Ozzy says. Okay, and now I want to go to the refrigerator and check out what I have for salad dressing or hollandaise sauce. Let's call it hollandaise sauce. Hey, we're fancy. Okay, first of all, I got to get in my bag over here. I got some, I bought some sauce the other day. Oh! Anyway, again, it's always important to shop economically, and here's another generic Star Market brand there. It's 99 cents. That's a good deal. Anyway, you want to shake vigorously, as they say. Yeah. And, oh, excuse me. Anyway. Alright. So we have our sauce. We have our hot dogs. We have a little flavor. I'm going to get maybe some pepper. I don't know. We have our macaroni and cheese. And you might be familiar with ramen noodles, which are another good meal. I think that'll be episode 2 of Cooking with Clarko. But you have these little flavor packs. I don't know if you can focus in on this, Charlie. Can you? You got it? Is it over here? Okay. These are flavor packs that come in the ramen noodles. Now, my idea is that to wait for the ramen noodles to go on sale. A lot of times they go on sale for 10 for $1. That's 10 cents each as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, you get tired of them after a while, so just throw them out and keep the flavor packs, because they're worth the 10 cents. Darn it. So keep the flavor packs, because that's going to add to your macaroni and cheese. Okay, we got that. We got this. We got these two things. Here's our flavor so far. We've got hot dogs. We've got ranch dressing, which is a good let's call it hollandaise sauce. We've got the macaroni and cheese, and we have the flavor pack. Okay, and also we want to embellish the flavor of the mac and cheese with a beer, because beer is actually a good flavor. Now we got the hot dogs in there. We'll put a little beer in there. It's foaming, which is okay. Some people like to do things like put Worcestershire sauce. This to me is a little too fancy. I don't know. Some people like it, but I prefer just regular food, as you do. Okay, so we're over here with the mac and cheese. It's on its way, almost done. Now I want to get something to drain it with, because you need to drain this stuff in order to get all the water out and, you know, put your cheese in. You know that. I have a colander here. I got a plastic colander. It's a little bit it's buried kind of, so if you'll excuse me for a second. Like I said before, it's important to have counter space, but it's also important to have a sink with running water. So here's my tool. Put that back in there, stir it up a bit. The colander, excuse me. Okay. You want to have a little space here. I want to wash it out because it's been in there for 3-4 days, so it's a little. Okay. Make sure it's all taken care of here. All right. Let's clear the sink out a bit. It's a little messy here. Okay. Anyway, now most people like to eat macaroni and cheese out of a bowl or something, or a plate. Something like this will do just fine, because if you get too full, and you do sometimes on macaroni and cheese, you can always put it in here, put the top on, and keep it for later. Eat it at 4 in the morning, after a night of having fun. So let's check back here. I think things are looking pretty good here. So we take one more check. Okay, you might be able to see that. If you see me, my hands over here, working at the hot dogs. The hot dogs look like they're getting a little bit swollen, which is a good sign, I guess. That means they're cooking. And the cheese, the macaroni looks like it's getting a little swollen, so that also means it's getting cooked. I'm looking a little swollen, and you do the math. Anyway, let's pan back down here. Let's come over here and show you a little bit around the kitchen here. You might see some of these cooking books over here we got in the kitchen here. These cooking books are unnecessary. Basically, I bought these to impress women, and it didn't work. So anyway, just ignore them. They're good for recipes on certain things, but generally they're a waste. Okay, they take up space here, and they look good next to the microwave, but I don't use them, and I'll probably throw them away. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go back here to our working area. I gotta move some of this stuff, as they say. Oh. Okay. All right. Anyway, we need a good counter space here. We don't have much counter space here. I found my beer. This is That wasn't my beer. Oh. Anyway, sorry. So anyway, let's go back to the macaroni. Let's go back to the macaroni and cheese here. Hold on, cut. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm better now. One thing that there's a lot of smokers still. You know, you might live with a smoker. Just make sure when you live with a smoker that that they use ashtrays, because a lot of times what they'll do, and the kids do it, I know, it's something that I don't know, maybe it's a generational thing, but anyway, people like to put cigarettes out in empty beer cans. It's a problem, and we're dealing with it one step at a time. But anyway, let's go back to the cooking show here, shall we? All right. This looks like it's pretty well done. So what I'm going to do is drain it. I got my colander out here. And let's stump this out here. You want to make sure, stump it out. That also, well, sometimes, you know, with these things, like I said, they stick. So just get out your cooking utensil here and, you know, there's some burnt stuff in here, but that's all right. That's good. We'll just scoop all that stuff in there. Alright, now some people, now these are like, I don't know if this was a dream I had or not, but some people say clean the macaroni, like put cold water on it, because it gets the starch out of the collar. I don't know what, or something like that. Somebody said there's like starch or something in here, that you have to run cold water over it because it get the starch out of it. I don't know what that means, but, oops, I want to turn the stove off when you stop. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to pour some beer on here to get the starch out of it, because it seems to work well for hair. When you pour beer on hair, it's good for your hair, so I figure, hey, must be good for your food too. Anyway, let's, you got to sort of shake it vigorously, just like the salad dressing, so you might want to try doing it. Anyway, so... Alright, so we have our macaroni and cheese. We have our macaroni, we don't have our cheese yet. Silly me. Anyway, so we have our cheese here. So let's shake that vigorously too, now that we're at it. And we have our flavor pack, and, you know, while I'm on it, you know, let's do it all. Let's do it all. Come on, let's shake vigorously. Come on, camera. Okay, there we go. And let's take the sauce. I guess this is sauce, but it's not really, it's powder. It becomes a sauce when you add the liquid. Now most people use milk. It's recommended that on the boxes of the macaroni and cheese to use milk. Put like a half a cup of milk. Now I don't like milk because milk is you know, milk is like from like cows. But I think the best thing I can do is pour beer on there, because beer is from beer and not from cows. So anyway, let's get there. Now we have a sauce. There's a sauce brewing here. We got beer and macaroni. I'm sorry, beer and cheese. Whoops. I want to make sure that's not going to fall. So now we have a sauce here. If you notice here, camera, we have a sauce going. It's a frothy sauce, and that's what I like about it. See, this is another embellishment that I have, and I found this out the hard way. I spilled a beer over my food once. But anyway, the sauce with the cheese powder with the beer creates sort of a frothy sauce. Frothy sauce. Can you say that? And it just really makes it, it just gives it like a little bit of a kick. You know, it's kind of like eating pop rocks. Just like pop rocks, and it just like, there's like a party in your mouth or somewhere. And then, okay, so now I'm gonna pour it in here, but first I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start to add the macaroni, the hot dogs to the sauce here, and we're gonna have two sauces here. Remember, we have the ranch dressing, which we're gonna call Hollandaise sauce or something like that, because it's, you know, fancy and stuff. Anyway, let's pour that all in there. Make sure we got it all. Every last little nugget. Alright. I'm gonna put that back in the sink. We'll deal with that later. Tomorrow. And so, now you want to mix this up a bit. You just want to make sure that you got all of the sauce and the cheese together. And I like to do this, you know, for about 5 minutes. But today we're only going to do it for about 30 seconds or so. And that's pretty good. Alright, so let's pan back over here to our dinner plate. Now, this is good because I can use this. I could eat out of this, right, when I go to dinner, when I have dinner. But I can also close it up tight and put the lid on it and put it back in the fridge when I'm full. And generally I get kind of full, you know, after eating this. Because it's a real full thing, especially if you're eating, you know, like maybe 1.5 meals a day. Say like in the morning you get up, you have your coffee and your toast, you know. You go to work, you have a sub or something, but it's, you know, you come home, you're just tired. You don't want to make a big meal. You know, that's what we're here for, to sit. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, okay? So, here we go. Now it's all in there. Get a shot of that. This is, make sure we got every last macaroni out of there. Now here we are. We have it all in there. Now we want to. Here comes the fun part. This is where I just giggle. I giggle and laugh. Whoa. Okay. Want to make sure that you have your beer. Woo. Okay. Now this is the flavor pack, and as I said before in the beginning of the show, macaroni and cheese, yeah, but add your flavor, and you got a big. A party in your mouth or somewhere. So let's open it up, pour it on the cheese, and this is where I said you get this from ramen noodle packs, and they're about 10 cents a pop. Sometimes you get a good deal, you know, 10 cents a pop. Sometimes you get tired of the ramen, you know, and you just throw the ramen out and keep the flavor pack. Okay, so make sure we got all that. Make sure we get all that in there. And let's see, what do we got here? Now, some people enjoy there's like these spices things, and I think like one of my girlfriends left this here once. Some like ground cumin, something like that. McCormick ground cumin. I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, let's just go with the basics here. Now, some people like. Now this is sometimes good, putting hot sauce on the thing. Now it's a little. You know, it's a little too much. So we won't deal with that right now. Okay, now we have this all together. We have the ramen noodle flavor pack, the cheese, the hot dogs, and the sauce. This is the hollandaise sauce, as we're calling it right now. So pop that open, and you want to spread this liberally all over the cheese to make sure that it's adequate, that it covers all of the macaroni there, and just spread that around. And we're almost done here. Just spread it, make sure you get it all over everywhere. You know, make sure you get it in every single nook and cranny there. Should be all set, you know. And let's see. Now we want to garnish this with something, because, you know, generally this is edible and it looks okay, but you want really to add something special, like a little special touch. You want to put something in there to make it, you know, more enjoyable to eat, something that's, you know, visually pleasing to the eye or something. So we're going to get something here to put on, and I'm not sure what to put on top for embellishment here. Embellishment? And I'm going to choose this thing because it's the first thing I saw. This is some kind of a root or something, like some kind of ginger root or something like that. So we're just going to put that right there, and we're pretty much done here. If you'll notice, we have macaroni and cheese with hot dogs, flavored, and all for this meal right here. This meal right here. Let me tell you this. This meal right here. You know how much it cost? It cost 75 cents. So, you know, for 75 cents, you can't beat it. You know, that's not even going to be a Whopper. I think a Whopper's like $4 or $5 now. So, enjoy it. And I'm going to grab Mr. Beer and sit down with my macaroni and cheese. Get the proper utensil. And let's see. That's very good. That's very good. All right. Well, thanks for coming with us and watching us cook. When I say that, I mean watching us cook. Had a good time. I hope you learned something. It's not always what you eat, it's how you eat it. Next time I'm going to make something else. I don't know. You know, something cheap, something good, something that you'd eat. Not something that you'd look at and go, I don't, yeah. So anyway, till next time, happy eating and, you know, do your thing. See ya.